it's your boy Six and welcome back to another tutorial. In this video, I'm teaching you an effect called the disappearing card from Bob Long's 101 Amazing Card Tricks, this book right here. It's a great book that you can pick up on Amazon for $9, really cheap. You can get it in the description below. It's also Prime eligible, which is nice too, and it helps support the channel. What's really cool about this effect is it allows you to seemingly make a card disappear and then reappear. It's a really simple effect that you can do with a borrowed shuffled deck of cards, and I think it's pretty simple. There's not too much sleight of hand, so you learn it relatively quickly. What I like about this effect is the construction. It's very smart in how it operates. There's a number of things that you're doing to make this effect work that makes it really fooling. But enough about the effect, let's get into the performance. This is the performance for the disappearing card. I like to present it as the invisible card, so during the presentation I'll be referring to it as that. And the spectator is going to take out a card, doesn't matter what it is, and place it face down on the table. And I tell them, you could have chose any card, but you chose this card, and that's the strange thing, because you could have chose the 3 of clubs, but you didn't. And you could have chose the 2 of spades, but you didn't. You really could have chose any one of these cards, but you didn't. You chose this card. Let's take a look at what you did. The 3 of spades. You may not know this, but that's known as the invisible card. I'll show you what I mean. I can make it invisible, right? You see the 3 of spades? Ready? Look. Gone. It's invisible. You can't see it. Okay, that's a silly joke. It's not even a good joke, but it's a silly joke, but it's true. Look, I'll take that 3 of spades out of the pack. It's invisible, and I'll place it over here. But I'll prove it to you. Look, if I go through the cards like this, you'll see that it's not here. Maybe you think it's on this side. Look, I'll go through the cards. It's not here. None of these, none of these, none of these, none of these. Look, maybe, look, I'll even show you. Look, I'll take a few cards like this. None of these, none of these. It's not any one of these cards. Take a few more and look. Any of these? No, no. None of these. Maybe you think I'm doing something fishy. I'll go super slow motion. Look, super slow motion. I couldn't go any slower if I tried. Look, not here, not here, not here, not here. Your card really is invisible. And I know you may not believe me, but it really is invisible. You could have been any one of these cards. But watch, if I take your card, I'm going to flip it face up. I'll put it back inside the middle. And now we'll make it reappear just like that. And there you have it. Your invisible card can now be seen again. And that is the disappearing card trick. So here's the explanation for the disappearing card. Now, I use the invisible card as a presentation for a specific reason, as you saw. I think it makes a little bit more sense, but let's get directly into the effect. Shuffled cards, doesn't matter. Borrowed shuffled deck, completely fine. Have a card selected and placed face down on the table. I do this for 2 reasons. A, if you've ever performed a day in your life, the moment a spectator looks at the card, they don't want to show it to you. It's natural. People think, oh, I'm looking at the card. You should know what it is. You should find it. I shouldn't show it to you. They don't want to show the magician the card. So I keep it face down and I avoid that moment. B, this creates suspense. Now it's interesting. It's not your normal pick a card trick. I don't know what the card is. Why is he still talking when we don't know what the card is? It creates interest. So the card is face down. And now I say you could have picked any card. Now I'm going to get a pinky pull down break under the top card. If you're not familiar how to do a pinky count to get a break, in the previous video I did with Xavier's Spade, it's linked above me at the moment, it's floating on the screen. You can click that link and he teaches it in great detail how to do a pinky count, how to get a break under a top card. So I get a pinky pull down break on the top card. Now I'm doing that as I talk about you could have picked any one of these cards. Get the break and say, but you didn't. Now I'm going to come over with the right hand and I'm going to use my right thumb to keep the break. So I'm going to press my right thumb against the back of the cards and at the front of the cards, and I'm going to hold the deck now in biddle grip. But what I did was I actually ended up transferring that break to my thumb. So this is going to be a little bit exaggerated. I usually have a little smaller than that, but that's fine so you can see it. Now my thumb is holding the break. It's the fleshy part of my thumb in between the top card and the deck holding that break. You can't see it from the front. The front is flat, but from here you can see that there's the break. So I hold the break with the pinky. I come over with the right hand, pick up the cards in the right hand. Now the break is on this hand and the fleshy part is sticking in there. I'm going to take about half the cards from the bottom of the deck and flip them face up, placing them on top of that top card and keeping the break in place. I'm still holding the break. So I say you could have picked the king of spades, but you didn't. Now I take all of the cards from beneath the break, and I'm turning those over and saying you could have picked the five of spades, but you didn't. And what I just did was reverse one card at the bottom of the packet. This is called the Bowery reversal. Once again, so you can see it again. So again, I have a break under the top card, all right? So I have my break. I'm gonna transfer it to the right hand. So I'm gonna give you the side view here so you can see I'm holding the break right here. I'm gonna take half the cards from the bottom, turn those face up, and I'm gonna place it on top of that card, and I'm gonna keep that break. So my thumb is still holding a break. Now I'm gonna take all the cards underneath the break, turn those face up, and place those on top. And what that does is that revolves the cards around the top card and gives me the top card now at the bottom, face down. So once I do that, I can spread through these cards and say you could have picked any one of these cards. But you didn't, you chose this one. Now when I spread these cards, very important, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna memorize the second card here, which is the four of spades. I'm memorizing the four of spades. That's gonna help me and be my key card in a second. So I spread through and I said, you could have picked any one of these cards, but you didn't. You chose this card. Let's see what card you chose. Oh, you chose the four of clubs. Interesting, that's known as the invisible card. It's just presentation at this point. You can say whatever you really want to say. Four of clubs. Say, look, I'll prove to you that it's the invisible card. So I'm going to cut it like this. Look, and now it's invisible. Cheesy joke. I let this fly by. I don't try to make this funny. I know it's a stupid joke. That was the point. But it really is invisible, and I'll prove it to you. I'll take it out and I'll put it over here to the side. So now I'm going to turn the deck face down, and I'm going to deal through the deck face up. Now remember, I remembered the four of spades. That was my key card. I'm going to deal through the cards until I see the four of spades. I'm going to keep going, keep going, keep going. And I'm saying your card is gone. And once I see the four of spades, I can deal one more card after that. That's it. One more card after. Why don't I memorize the five instead of the four? Well, because just in case I'm dealing and I start to push over, you don't want to reveal that card. So because a lot of people, when they deal, they'll push over the next card as they're turning this card over. At least now I know that I have to be careful now. I'm aware. So it gives me some room for error so I don't make a mistake. I see the four of spades. I can deal the next card and I know this card is reversed over here. So now I go, it's none of these cards. Maybe you think it's on the other side. So we're going to flip the packet face up, and now we're just deal from the top, just like this. It's not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. It's none of these. Look, I'll show you. I'll take a bunch of cards. Now I'm going to cut off a small packet of cards like this, a few cards, flip the whole packet face up, and then deal all the ones that are face up off the top. Say, look, it's not these, it's not these, it's not these. Now at this point in the Bob Long description, he makes a mistake. He doesn't include this part because the trick doesn't work if you follow it in the book. You have to do that same move one more time. So again, I'm going to grab a bunch of cards, flip them face up, and deal through. Say it's not this one or this one or this one. Look, I'll show you more cards. It's none of these. And I stop at the face down card. Now I'm going to flip this packet face up again and say, look, it could have been this one, this one, this one. Now I'm going to deal off some cards off the face of the pack until I have a small packet. Because I don't want too many cards for this portion, because the next portion I'm going to do in slow motion, right? So once I get a small packet like this, maybe like 8 cards, I stop. And I say, look, maybe you think I'm cheating. I'll go super slow motion because there's only a few cards left. Now I'm going to take this card, and my justification for the change here, because I'm going to take it and turn it face down and put it at the bottom, my justification for it changing is by saying I'm going to go super slow motion. So you can see, look, super slow motion, not the 9 of hearts, not the Jack of diamonds. And now I'm going to deal through all the face up cards, and I keep going until I reach another face down card, and that's when I stop. So it could have been this one, could have been this one, or could have been this one. It's none of those cards. Your card is really invisible. I flip this face up, and now I'm going to drop this on top. Be careful that when you drop it on top that the cards aren't slippery or the cards are not at an angle, because if this is at an angle, then it'll show that card face down. You don't want to do that. So you want to make sure these are flat and drop this flat on top. So usually I don't recommend you just dropping it if you don't feel comfortable. I think you should just place the whole packet just like that. Now I'm going to square the cards up and pick them up, and I say your card really is invisible. That's why I placed it over here to the side. Now I can't spread through the cards because there's a card reversed and it's a few cards down. But I do know it's a few cards down. So what I can do is spread over just a few cards from the top. I know that's safe. But then I'm going to do what's called a block push-off. And what a block push-off is that now that I show these few cards, instead of pushing a few cards over, I'm going to push a block of cards over. So I can show, say your card's not any of these cards, and I'm gonna put my thumb to the edge. I'm gonna push over a huge block. Look how many cards I just pushed over. That's a big block. I push that whole block over into my right hand, and then I can spread the rest of the cards and say your card's not any of these cards. So at full speed, it's like you could have picked any one of these cards, but you didn't. None of these cards. Like this, a few cards, push the block into my right hand, so now I have that, and then I can show a few cards and say your card's not here. Now what I want to do is I want to spread a good amount of cards, because I know that card's floating somewhere over here, and I'm going to say you could have picked any one of these cards, but you didn't. Your card really is gone. You can see that. Now I'm going to take the cards in my right hand, because I know their selection is here, and I'm going to cut the packet. And when I cut the packet, I'm going to place it just like this. I can turn it face down and place it on the table. And now I know their card is somewhere inside the middle. I'm just positioning it more towards the middle, so that when I spread it, it's not towards the top or to the bottom. I just position it towards the middle. That's why I did that cut. Now I say you could have chose any card, but you got this card, the one I made invisible. I really did make it invisible. Look, I'll turn it face up, place it inside the middle, and now you'll see your card is back. And that's a really stunning moment. People lose their mind for that part, because they don't expect that card to show up, nor do they expect it to show up reversed. And you could show your card really was invisible. Now we can see it again, and that is the invisible card, or the disappearing card trick, as Bob Long calls it. What's great about this also is you can do it with a signed card. You can have their name on it, which is nice too. If you want to give presentation, you can have them draw a picture and say I'm going to make the picture disappear, and do it that way. Any way you like to do it. It's a really great effect that's really, really simple, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, because it really helps push the channel. And I want to say thank you, because we hit 500 subscribers, and I know it's a small number overall, but to me it's a really huge feat. I appreciate you guys believing me in what I'm doing, and thank you so much, because without you guys none of this is possible. I know it's a small number, it's the first step of many. So guys, thank you again. Hit that subscribe button, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, and it's summertime. Go enjoy the summer.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.